Now let's enter an article from a journal and a note card from that article. In my citation type, I'm going to choose journal and create citation. I know that I'm using a journal because I found it on JSTOR, so I don't have to look through these options. If you're not sure, it's always good to check. Once I get to the page, I know that I did not find my article through print. I didn't look through a physical journal. Instead, I used JSTOR, which is a database. If you can find it on the library page titled Databases, then that's where you want to enter your information. So, the name of my database is JSTOR. Noodle Tools knows all about it. I accessed it today, January 7th. The URL I want to use from JSTOR is this URL in my View Citation window. I want to use the stable URL. Rather than using the one that includes all of my search codes and keys, I just want to use the most basic URL. Okay? Now I know I'm entering an article from my journal. I'm entering something by an author. And the title of my article goes here. I also want to enter the page numbers. Finally, I want to enter the name of the journal that I'm using. Again, all of this information is found on the View Citation bubble in JSTOR. Use the helpful bubbles that Noodle Tools provides for you to double check that you're entering your information properly. Now I know that I've entered all the information. I found this source online, so I entered a URL. I also entered the full citation information for the article. I want to make sure that my bottom item here to include it in my works cited is checked, and then I can submit. Again, I know that this is a secondary source, so I'm going to apply it as a secondary source. Once I've done that, I can go ahead and start entering note cards. Now, the note card screen can be a little overwhelming, but there are only a few parts. First, enter the title of your note card. The title should be based on the information that you have from the piece. Okay. If you're entering a direct quotation from your piece, make sure that you include quotation marks. That is a long quotation. I can't necessarily use this entire quotation in my paper, but because it's stated so well, I definitely want to include it. I know that this quotation appears on page 379 of my article. You must put in a page number of the material. You can add tags as you go in your paper. I might add the tag I also want to make sure that I either paraphrase or add some ideas of my own to this note card. A note card that's simply a direct quotation is not going to be that useful to you. If I think that I want to use this paper to demonstrate how blacks had to act in a segregated school system, then I want to make sure that I put that here. I can also paraphrase the direct quotation that I have. Okay. Now I've entered page number, I know that this is my correct source, and I've entered a direct quotation and title. A tag can be useful to me in the future as I try to organize my research information. I've also entered my idea so that I remember why I wrote this direct quotation into a note card. And I can go ahead and save. Now it shows me that I have one note card in this source. And that's what you're looking to do with all of your sources. You want to include information so that you don't have to ever go back to a source and look something up. Always include a page number. Use tags if you find them useful. Use a title of a note card that will help you recall the content of that note card. Never only use one section of a note card. There you go. Those are your helpful pieces of information about entering a journal source and a note card.